That monster is now coming for the entire league. The WNBA's dirty secret is its complete and utter dependence on Clark, the very person they allow to be targeted. The numbers don't lie. During the 10 games she missed due to injury, WNBA ratings collapsed by a staggering 55%. Average viewership plummeted from 1.81 million with her on the court to just 847,000 without her. They need her to survive. Yet, behind the scenes, they operate like a petty political organization that resents the very person keeping them afloat.
To me, is another reason why Caitlin Clark needs to flee the WNBA. It's a political organization. They're not serious about business. They don't care about traditional sports fans. It's a little cult that puts out little political statements. Everybody wears Vote t-shirts. They don't care about making money. They don't care really about building up this league and making it profitable. They're a charity. She needs to flee the WNBA and start her own league. And
they're not serious about business. That's the key. This isn't about business logic. It's about control. They want her talent, but not her power. They want her ticket sales, but not her influence. They want to profit from the Caitlin Clark effect while simultaneously trying to humble her, to put her back in her place through physical intimidation and political maneuvering. And that is precisely why her rejection of the unrivaled offer was a masterstroke of strategic genius. This is the moment all the pieces of the puzzle snap into place. Clark and her team saw it all: the physical targeting the league refused to stop, the political snub from Team USA, the financial exploitation. They knew they couldn't fight a corrupt system from within without leverage. That million-dollar unrivaled offer wasn't an escape hatch. It was the leverage they were waiting for. By publicly and dramatically rejecting a $1 million-plus payday, she created an international news story that no one could ignore. She proved in one move that her fight wasn't about getting more money for herself. It was about the hostile, broken system she was trapped in. It was the ultimate signal. The rejection amplified the calls for a federal investigation from a whisper to a roar. It gave the hostile work environment claims a foundation of credibility that is impossible to dismiss. She sacrificed $1 million to put the WNBA on trial in the court of public opinion and potentially in a federal court of law. And the final phase of the plan is now in motion. Do you think it's a coincidence that at the exact moment Clark's value and mistreatment became undeniable, the WNBA Players Union suddenly decided to opt out of their collective bargaining agreement? This is a nuclear option, tearing up the contract that was supposed to last until 2027. The union's president, Nneka Ogwumike, called it a defining moment, vowing they cannot afford to stand still. This wasn't a spontaneous rebellion. This was a coordinated attack. Clark created the crisis, the undeniable proof of the league's corruption and incompetence. Now the union is seizing that crisis to dismantle the entire financial structure of the WNBA, demanding their rightful share of the revenue that Clark is generating. It's a breathtaking power play, and it validates every warning we've heard about the league's toxic foundation.
I don't care how much money. They can offer Caitlin Clark $100 million, and I would tell her to stay away from this unrivaled 3-on-3. It's going to be a disaster. It's going to be a bad look for women's basketball. It's going to hurt their momentum. It's not even a real thing. It's something to pacify them, to make the women think, hey, you know what, I need to keep going along with this crap WNBA league that has poor leadership and doesn't know how to become profitable so we can get paid. They want to get paid for just whining and complaining and saying we deserve it rather than earning it. They could earn it if they start.
Stay away, it's going to be a disaster. He was talking about the unrivaled league, but the same warning applies to the WNBA itself. Clark realized the whole system was a disaster, built on hypocrisy. So she rejected the money. She rejected the escape. She chose to stay and fight. We've all seen that heartbreaking, infuriating image of her on the sideline, head buried in a towel, fighting back tears after yet another injury. The league wanted you to see that as a moment of weakness, a rookie breaking under pressure. But we now know the truth. That wasn't weakness. That was the quiet moment she decided to become the monster they woke up. That was the moment she decided to burn it all down. The WNBA is now in a state of absolute panic. They are cornered. On one side, they face a potential federal civil rights investigation that could expose decades of corruption. On the other, they face a player-wide rebellion led by a union that is ready to shut the league down to get what it wants. And at the center of it all is the generational talent they tried and failed to control. Their plan to haze and humble Caitlin Clark has backfired spectacularly, transforming her from their golden goose into their executioner. Do they finally admit their failure and try to protect her, begging for forgiveness? Or do they double down using their media allies to try and discredit her, to paint her as the problem? The league office is in crisis mode, and the decisions they make in the next few weeks will determine the future of professional women's basketball. The biggest question remains, what will the federal investigators find when they start subpoenaing emails and internal documents? What conversations has the league office been having behind closed doors? We are digging into the WNBA's internal communications, and what we are hearing is that they knew about the targeting all along and did nothing. The cover-up may be even worse than the crime.